Hey everyone, welcome back. We are going to be showing you guys a really quick tutorial on how to properly, let me take my mask off, on how to properly tape down your client's eyes. I get this question a lot and it's relatively easy, but I believe actually seeing it is what's going to make it better. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and show you guys that since you guys requested it. So first things first, I brush them out just a little bit. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't, just depends. So we're going to go in with our Veyes gel patches. Really love these. These are my favorite gel patches to use. Like I told you guys, it has that perfect amount of moisture. It's really comfortable underneath your client's skin, and it creates a barrier between the skin and the tape. So I always love using this. Go ahead and look up for me. Have you look all the way up, and I'm only going to use this to kind of gently tape down the bottom lashes. Now some people have longer bottom lashes than others. This particular client does have longer eyelashes at the bottom, so we want to get as much as we can, but we don't need to get too close to the waterline. As you can see, there is like a pretty decent amount of a gap there, and that's completely fine because all we're doing is mainly giving a base for our tape and getting as many bottom lashes as we can. Nothing too crazy. By the way, that retention with the Power Bond, I'm telling you guys, you need to go purchase that glue. That's a good glue right there. Okay, so then we're gonna take our Veyes purple tape just because I was in the mood to use this tape. I had used it the other day and I actually really liked it, so I wanted to use it again. And I love the fact that it's already pre-cut for you because it is a skinnier tape versus the Next Care tape. So again, have her look up. Go ahead and look all the way up for me. And any excess tape. So as you can see, I'm doing like this push motion. I usually like to do that so that way I could really get any bottom lashes that are stuck to the top by accident. Let me see, look all the way up. Yeah. Always push those down and then look all the way up again. And going at an angle as closest to the waterline, but without touching the waterline. Go ahead and close. And as you can see, go ahead and turn your head. Perfect. We have no eye exposed. We got down all those bottom lashes, just the top ones are sticking out, and that's pretty good. Now sometimes I will adjust the tape and what you can do, and the reason why I always suggest to tape the outer corner first before you go in with your inner corner is because just in case that outer corner is a little too close, you could always take the tape and push it down and make it more comfortable. So how does that feel? Do you feel that at all? No, feels good? Yeah. So just in case, but just for her, I'm gonna slightly bring it up just a little high. Now what you don't want to see is this. You don't want the tape to push up against, do you see how it's pushing up against the client's outer corner? That will cause discomfort. You might cause a paper cut in the eye, and you will probably not be able to lash that inner corner properly. So always keep that in mind. Another thing you want to keep in mind is paper cuts, because you can give a client a paper cut with tape. Go ahead and look up. If you are getting way too close. So what I mean by that is if you're going all the way up here, this is super uncomfortable. It's gonna push against those top lashes and you're not gonna be able to lash correctly, and then your client is either gonna get watery eyes, it's gonna be uncomfortable for her, and you might give her a paper cut. We need to avoid this. Go ahead and look all the way up again. So again, going at a diagonal. So if I were to come over here, as you can see, I would leave that inner corner more exposed, as if I were to come more towards the inner portion of her eye and close, just like that. So again, this is the importance of taping 2 sections at a time, that now I could adjust my inner corner because I don't know if you guys can kind of tell, there's slightly bit of a gap, and I just want to bring it just a little closer just in case. Very so slightly, just like that. Go ahead and open. And we do have a little bit here still exposed, so we're just gonna go ahead and tape that down. Normally I wouldn't, sometimes I don't, but just to be on the safe side, we are going to today for the sake of this video, just in case you were to get a larger gap. Go ahead and open it up. And close. And there you have it. And now your client is perfectly taped down. It's not bunching up. So an improper way of taping for the inner corner would be doing this all the way up here, and as you can see, her eyes are already twitching. It's way too close to the inner corners. I'm not going to be able to isolate, right? It's bunching up, so you just kind of want to slightly, if that happens, just gently bring this down, but be careful because you don't want to expose those inner corner lashes. from the bottom. So we go in and we tape, making sure that tape is nice and down. Brush your client's lashes. And you are ready to go ahead and begin and lash. I'm gonna do it one more time on her other eye just so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So same thing on the other side. I'm bringing my hand and I'm turning it at the angle of her eyes. And then I'm gonna go as closest to the waterline without touching it. Go ahead and close. See how that looks. I got some stuck out here, so I'm just gonna gently remove them with my tweezer. And I'm gonna lightly pull this down just so that those outer corner lashes are a tiny bit more exposed, so it makes me easier for me to isolate. Again, taking another piece of tape no more than 2 inches long, as you guys can see, and then go ahead and look up. Again, adjusting my hand at the angle of her eyes, and lightly press and close. There you have it. I feel like those outer corners are perfectly taped. We got none sticking out. I'm just gonna check real quick. Yep. And I'm pretty satisfied with that. Go ahead and turn. So one eye may use more tape than the other, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be an excessive amount of tape. Sometimes it can only be 2 pieces, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4, depending on how big your client's eyes are, depending how small they are as well, depending how narrow, how round, are they almond eye, are they doll eyes, you know, it's definitely gonna determine where you're gonna be placing that tape, but minimal of 2 to 3 pieces of tape. It doesn't need to be super excessive, but just enough, like I said, to cover any of those bottom lashes. And take your time with this, you know, adjust as much as you can. Go along with it, and just you will learn how to pick up what angles to work on your client the more that you lash. Okay, so now we're going to do the same method, and we're doing it on another client who has more super almond eyes. So again, taking our gel pads, look up, going to tape down as much as we can, not too far, close to that waterline. Look all the way up. Adjusting our hand wrist at the angle we need to go. Go ahead and look down. Close. I had her close for this because for more almond eyes, look up one more time. You want to make sure that you're go ahead and close before you fully tape down. You're pulling all that skin down, so that way it's easier, because her eyes are kind of like really chinky, so they bunch up a lot at the top. So we kind of have to like put a little pressure. Go ahead and close. That way we know where that tape is going and we are placing it properly. That. Again, if you need to, that's why it's always nice to do one side at a time, because you get to adjust your inner and outer corners. So I'm just going to do one more. Go ahead, close. There we go. Just because we want it to get a little bit closer to that waterline. Okay. But without touching it. And then I'll turn you this way. Okay. And open all the way up and close. Perfect. And open all the way up and close. This is bunching up a little bit in the inner corner, so I'm just going to slightly push it down. And there we have it. There we go. Okay, And that is how you're gonna tape down your clients. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one.